In this week's TDS update that added Walmart, the devs fixed some bugs, and one of those bug fixes happened to secretly buff Rocketeer and make this intermediate tower overpowered. So if you see here, it says fixed Rocketeer's explosion dealing inconsistent damage. It's a bit cut off, but if you go to the wiki, which has the full bug list, it says that Rocketeer's damage drop-off has been fixed, and it was bugged like since a week after its rework when they gave it the quad missile. So what does damage drop-off mean? Damage drop-off simply means that in a given explosion radius, the farther away an enemy is within the radius, the less damage the enemy takes. A lot of splash towers have this damage drop-off mechanic as a built-in feature, like for example, Mortar. Everyone thought Rocketeer would also have it, but apparently it's not supposed to. So now, instead of dealing maybe 60% of damage to some enemies, all enemies within Rocketeer's explosion radius will now take 100% of Rocketeer's damage. This is huge. See it like this. Rocketeer on paper has 120 DPS, but before this bug fix, Rocketeer wasn't actually dealing all 120 DPS to all of the enemies in its radius. Now with the bug fix, it's actually doing all the 120 DPS. This is especially dangerous seeing how the bugged damage drop-off Rocketeer was already performing so well, it didn't even need the bug fix to be useful. Some people are even saying that the new Rocketeer is better than Mortar, who is another overpowered splash tower, and they have a point. You can place 8 Rocketeers with each dealing 120 DPS, that's 960 DPS total. Mortar on the other hand can be placed 5 times with each doing around 500 DPS total. Now I'm not saying that the new Rocketeer outclasses Mortar, because it doesn't. Obviously Mortar has several benefits that Rocketeer itself lacks, but this DPS difference is still crazy to me. The main difference between the two AoE titans, Rocketeer and Mortar, has been that Rocketeer has pretty significant single target DPS in exchange for a smaller explosion radius compared to Mortar. When the damage drop-off bug existed, Rocketeer operated like a strong single target attack with a bit of splash on the side. Yes, the explosion radius is still small, only being 5 studs at max, but 5 studs is all you really need, considering that almost all of the TDS game modes right now spam a ton of condensed enemies. So now with this recent bug fix, Rocketeer has the forbidden combination of having strong single target and strong AoE at the same time. We've already seen how powerful this combination has performed in other towers. What's even crazier is that Rocketeer is extremely cost effective. Look at this cost efficiency, aka CE table, where the lower the number, the better. It's generally agreed upon that any CE below $200 is considered good, and this Rocketeer is supposed to be a mid to late game AoE tower. What business does it have having such low CE throughout its early levels? If you wanted to, and had the farms to, you could use Rocketeer early game. I've used Rocketeer a few times in hardcore early game before, and it's amazing for breakers, mega slow, lead bosses, and the dreaded wave 25 triple shadow bosses. Again, a full display of Rocketeer's pretty unique, strong single target plus AoE combination, but also how cost efficient spamming level 2 is, especially with that huge range that Rocketeer offers. But it's not all sunshines and flowers for Rocketeer, of course, because that huge range that Rocketeer has comes at a cost. Dead Zone. Dead Zone refers to this huge red circle range that every Rocketeer has. Enemies inside that red circle cannot be targeted by Rocketeer. This can be very detrimental in maps like Black Spot Exchange or the PvP maps where the maps are really small. But otherwise it's relatively easy to play around the Dead Zone weakness by simply placing Rocketeer away from the path. I mean, you'll usually want to be placing Rocketeer away from the path anyways to maximize its huge range and stay away from the enemy stuns. All Dead Zone really does is make Rocketeer feel sometimes map dependent, which is a true weakness for it. So overall, Rocketeer got so much better, and you can help me get better by subscribing. Let me know what you guys think about Rocketeer or this video in the comments. This one was fun to make.